There's evergreen containers everywhere. Nobody started asking the questions of how did 18 to 20,000 containers get on one ship, and no one ever knew about it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as Epstein's Island. It came out that we have a global elite sex trafficking ring made by the people who run our world and our government, and no one is upset. No one is asking the question, but your intuition should be screaming like how come I didn't know about this a long time ago? Something has always been weird to me. Something has not been right about the way that celebrities are able to enter their concert but not use the front door. So where are they taking all these children? Oprah, she hashtagged bring all of our girls home. Where are our girls? She knows where they are. The question is what people should be asking is how did all of these girls disappear, Oprah? Where did all these girls go? And how do you know when they all disappeared?
Where are you at, BLM? A lot of the children that are being trafficked, raped, tortured, beat, brutally eaten, it's because the melanin in their skin. So you're not, okay, we don't have to talk about everybody else's life and the white and the Mexicans, but why are we not talking about their Black lives that matter? Huh? Pride, there's gay kids that have been adopted. There's gay couples that have adopted children that they've just come up missing. There was a gay couple that killed their child not too long ago. On camera. Where's the outrage? If we want to go into minorities, let's talk about it. White people, we all know that back in the day, everybody used to say they always want the blonde hair, blue eyes. So where's the outrage? Mexicans, you have children that are down, that bleed Mexican, Latina blood, that are being dropped over gates, that are being raped and brutally beaten, that are being found 6 years old with multiple semen of more than 30 men's bodies, that she was raped before she was killed. Where is the outrage? Let's talk about out of culture. Why is it your child's duty to serve their country and be totally brutally tortured and raped in another country? Culture trafficking is a whole different ballgame. So when you leave America, it is legal as a 60-year-old man to marry an 88-year-old child. It is legal to pull a 12-year-old kicking and fucking screaming away from their parents who dressed them up, put their makeup on, and sent them off. Where is the fucking outrage? Kiss my ass with your colorism.
Okay, did you hear what she just said? She said kiss her ass with the colorism. Didn't I just get through talking to you guys? Didn't I just speak about that? Didn't I just speak about color? Why do we see color? Why is color still a thing? Why is color still a thing? And she was saying this 3 years ago. Why is color still a thing? I don't understand.
To see something like that. I was never saved by some military. I was never magically swept up and brought to safety. I was arrested multiple times, and I was always recycled, and I had to make a choice to get out on my own. And when I did, we still received hell, and we still do every day. But there are other survivors that are way worse off than me. There are some who are in wheelchairs and who just want to be able to walk again or live again, but they've been raped so bad that they can't use their legs, or they're paralyzed from the waist down. But a place that they could just, I want to go pick up some zucchinis today. Like, I don't even like vegetables, and I just want to go play in the dirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be amazing. It would be so cool.
Who would have thought we'd need to have billions of dollars so people could just be in peace and play in the dirt, right? Like,
right.
what a world this is. But
Right.
yeah, I totally appreciate it. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Everything on this planet started as an idea. Even the whole systems that we have working, even our government and our founding fathers and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to talk to someone that's not here. All right, buddy, we know we're sending you, right? So it's like...
Call it Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what does that mean? As we zoom in?
Yes. Exactly.
But seriously, like, no, it's such a beautiful idea, and for me, it's incredibly believable because, contrary to popular demand, if you don't live in, California or New York or certain other places,
Yeah.
land isn't super expensive, so you can get a deal on
Sell all
land.
your land for it.
Yeah, and so we, the people, like you said, we all have skills, we all have abilities. Some people are builders, some people are thinkers, and they're more strategic with stuff, or people are more entrepreneurial, or some people are good with math and numbers and accounting. So it's like, as we get people together and utilizing their own like gifts and talents and abilities, I mean, that's like a really, really cool thing, like being able to garden. And this is really important because a lot of things that we're realizing over this past year more than ever before is that if we have centralized supply chains outside of the United States, well, if something happens and, we need to rely on our own country, we don't have, international travel and so forth. Well, we need to be sustainable. So, I mean, that's a huge wake-up call. So rather than, oh, I'm going to get my organic avocados from Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about, if you don't have that ability, or they're not sending out avocados or whatever, like, what are you going to do? So being able to have, decentralized food and local, gardens and food supplies and power, electricity, different elements and things, like, this is part of a whole new developing of society that's happening right now, because like what you've mentioned and so a few other things, like survivors can't just call like, some child rescue group, because they might not be helpful. They might, like you mentioned, get recycled back into the program. So it's literally we the people, we all we got, right?
Yeah, exactly. And people don't understand how powerful they are. People don't understand how much your presence is worthy enough, how much you are worthy enough, and it's in yourself. There's so many people who know so much, and some people are like, I don't know that much. I don't care if you just grew up on the streets and you never went to school. There is something that you can teach someone. There is something that you can show someone. There is something that you can pass on to someone and be who you needed. There's always a room to be who you needed, and it's powerful. It means something, and I think people need to understand what they mean, because now we've just been so conditioned to, we're robots. Everybody is a robot. And the CDC is talking about the zombie apocalypse. I don't think it's the zombie apocalypse people are thinking of. Do you remember Pokemon Go? Do you remember how people were almost walking off of piers because they were so into this game and it didn't make any sense, and then all of a sudden it just went away? Same thing with the bath salts issue. People were eating each other's faces off. That was a cover up for adrenochrome, by the way, but it just went away. The intensity with this mask issue, eventually it will just go away, the same way Ebola did, the same way H1N1 did. It just goes away, and no one asks where to go. Like the flu's canceled. Where to go? If people are so powerful, and if people realize how powerful just your presence is, it has nothing to do with the value of $1, because you would understand the value is not even the value you're thinking of. The value of $1 is so much more. So just in yourself and who you are and what you decided to, fuck up or do right in your lifetime, you are worthy and you're powerful. And I'm still working on that, but it took me a minute to realize that. And I think it shouldn't, but it'll take some people a while to realize that. And when they do, can you imagine everybody coming together for survivors? And this is something that everybody can talk about. This is something that everybody can get on. No one is okay with knowing that there is someone being tortured. There is not something that you can argue with. You know what I mean? So can you imagine if everyone in the world came together to support survivors?
Where's the outrage? So let me get this straight. Claudia Martinez, Mariana, Jenny, Rose Silva, Zach Lockman, Cynthia Campbell. We can go on and on and on and on. You can keep continuing to worry about the elite, but you see how these people, Cynthia works in the schools. Cynthia works in San Bernardino City Unified School District. So, see how that shit works? You don't need to be worried about Kobe or LeBron or Jimmy Savile. You need to be worried who's in your school. You need to be worried who's on your street, who's your next door neighbor, who's in your church. And I can prove it. And so much more. Somebody asked, what's the end game? I don't know. We can't even get to one place without being stalked and harassed. If we died last night and we didn't tell you all this right now, where else would you have been looking? Because at one point you guys thought I was standing behind Trump at the Trump rally. At another point you guys thought I was in New York. At another point you guys thought I was because we did an oopsie. Oops, we're at the arch. Oops, because I always accidentally turn around my camera. Guess where the cops headed? Right when they got to the car, the hood. We'll drill up under the hood. Remember, Mom asked him, "Are you going to change the oil while you in there?" Then he looked through our notes. I didn't know you could hide drugs in ink. He read 3 pages of notes. Since when? Do cops care about that? When the drug dog sniffed for narcotics that he didn't even want to check. His officer handed my mother a narcotic and let her drive off without even checking what the hell they pulled us over for.
They didn't count them like they should have.
He didn't even look at it. He didn't look at the paperwork.
They weren't paid for that.
That's not what he was there for.
They were paid to be there.
That's not what he was there for. You remember that one officer, the twangy one that was just standing there like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I know you don't, because you got called by 911. Because I called them. I just want to talk to you, really, because if we did traffic stops with a little gossip every day, not that many people would be pulled over.
Where's the gun?
Where's the gun?
Where's the drugs?
Look up under the hood for where's the drugs? That was the funniest one, because we told that one to it. That was the funniest one. We fed that information to some people who are related to all of these people. And we remember exactly who we fed that information to, and we have the screenshots and the recorded conversation. The Colorado cops came in a 20-pack. How? Huh? Go back and listen to the cop videos. Why do they all have the same script? Where's the money? Where's your car?
Where's your E6000?
Yeah. Where's the money? Where's the money?
Tell me where the car is parked. How many rental cars have you had? How long have you been gone? How much money do you got left?
And if you think about it, we're not talking about a criminal who just got pulled over by the cops for speeding and refused to stop. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a woman and her family being on the road in their car and continuously getting pulled over as they go along the states. And they're saying every time they get pulled over, all of the cops are asking the same types of questions. Where's the money? Where's the E6000? What the fuck are we talking about here? Why are the cops pulling this family over state after state, county after county, wherever they're going? They're all asking the same questions. These are cops from different states and counties and stuff. That every time they pull this family over, they're asking the same questions. What? And y'all telling me that don't sound suspicious? What the hell? Even if you know what an E6000 is, why would they have that? Why would the cops be asking them if they have that? What do the cops know about that? Why are the cops pulling them over on a traffic stop, searching their car? They're looking for money. But that wasn't the purpose of the traffic stop. And what money? Why are these cops looking for money? It's because somewhere in their chain, they got word to be on the lookout for this family. All of them had to. That's the only way you can explain how all of these cops in different states, counties, and all these places that this family's getting pulled over at would be asking the same questions. And before they can get across lines, but before they can get across another state's line, there are more cops right there. As if to say that something different could have happened, transpired in between the time of their last stop and this one. That doesn't sound to you like this family's being targeted? How many other families have suffered with this while being on the road? Okay.
Angela, you posted something on your Twitter. It sounds like I'm lying. You know your followers. I got some of my followers from you. A lot of people blew me up. It wasn't just her, but I went viral overnight. And some of the reason was because of her. And I told her, you know what? Your followers, your word is gold. You know? So if you can please, that Twitter that you put up, if you can please explain to them what the hell is going on. And she said, you lying. After that, she went on Victor Mark's page, or not Victor Mark's, the Veritas Machines page. And she did a whole live that's been shared by every single troll. She was in the middle of a campaign. She was in the middle of a political campaign.
What kind of fucking reason is that for you to be stalking her fucking page and harassing her? She said the reason why you told her you did that is because she had way too many followers. So you was jealous as fuck. That's what that sounds like to me. That's jealousy. You was jealous as fuck because she had all these followers. So you go stalk and harass her? What kind of a person does this? What kind of person does this? So what the you mad because she got the followers? What the fuck is way too many followers anyway? Like, are you were you upset because she had more followers than you? This is stupid. Is this a grown person doing this? This is high school bullshit. You need to grow the fuck up. Whoever you are, that's ridiculous. If you are a person who thinks like this, you're a child. On the inside, you still a child. You're not an adult. You're a grown boy or either a grown girl if you're doing shit like this. Because you're mad that somebody got more followers than you. What? That, to me, that seems like a stupid reason. I mean, I care more about my followers understanding me. If you want to think of it in terms of quality over quantity, that's fine. Or quality over quantity. I hope I said that correctly. Quality over quantity, is how I think. That's, I tell you.
So all I did was say, here's the truth. Here's the screenshots. If you can't clear this up, I'll clear this up. Here it is. She got pissed. She made a video. Everybody did. She teamed up with Veritas Machine, who teamed up with Victor March. Veritas Machine was before I left the house. He came out of nowhere. I still had the screenshots from when I met him. I posted a TikTok about a female that was grooming a kid, a boy, and he said the same thing happened to me. So he came in and told me all this stuff about how he was chilling with Stevie Wonder and how he knows about the Illuminati and how he was doing some other things, and that somebody sent 13-year-old girls to his room, and he said no. And I said, oh, okay, I need to back up. Slowly, we were just talking back and forth between alive. Then I kept talking to him. I was like, whatever, you got to pass, whatever. I'm just going to back up slow. This was before I blew up. This was way before I blew up. I did a Getty Museum video. It was a Zoom. There was 40 people that were let in. It was at a random. He got pissed off that he wasn't let in. So he's the one who started the first hate accounts. He's the one who started saying that I was scamming for money.
The type of behaviors that she is talking about, where she mentions someone's name, and then all of a sudden, all these minions come out of nowhere associated with this person and are somewhat on the defense. Tagging her, tracing her, watching her, stalking her, harassing her. What does this sound like to you? Well, this is what I'll say. If something ever happens to where artificial intelligence is planted in a human, if something ever happens like this, those people would be the type of people that you would have to worry about. Those types of people will be the ones you will have to worry about. These are the type of people who can be controlled. They don't ask questions, they just follow policy. What else do you know does the same thing? Does not ask questions, just follows the programming. I know everybody won't get it.
I do have a little bit of an issue. If you want to know, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell you right here. We just back the hell up. There's no need to talk shit. We're not in a war with anybody. We didn't start this war. I'm not in a war with anybody. We're here. I'm trying to keep my kid alive so she can speak the truth. That's it. I didn't ask for anybody's fucking help. I'll do this shit my damn self. I didn't ask to be tagged anywhere. I didn't ask for any organization to step up. Y'all tagged them. I didn't ask for shit. This is my kid. I'm on the road. I'll do what I have to do to keep her safe and to keep us alive long enough for her to speak her truth. Because that's the most important thing. But I didn't ask anybody for shit. And I won't. But y'all say, oh, they refused help. No, we haven't refused help. We're not dismissing people. We're dismissing people that are shady as hell and are very questionable about their intentions. We're locked in with some hardcore ass 90s that would lay their life down for us, and I never questioned them for a second. I can close my eyes in front of them. We've been in a place where we've slept with armed 90s, and I've never feared for my life once. I can't say the same about some of y'all. I want y'all to hear this clear. we should be in World War III when everybody found out that there are children in those shipping containers. Why isn't the noise as loud as it was for a grown man and the cops? That's what's wrong. Why isn't anybody making noise? The same way that all over the world, it swept the nation when that man died. Even though there was drugs on his tongue, it still swept the nation. He didn't have to die like that. So why aren't we in World War III over the evergreen containers, over the amount of children underground, over the amount of bodies that have been found of children, over the amount of rings that's been busted? How many more do you need for it to be enough for you? Why didn't we sweep the fucking nation with how angry we are about the children? Why aren't we as angry as that? They're white, they're black. A lot of the black kids are a big commodity because of their melanin. So you want to get started with me with Black Lives? Ooh. It's not about toilet paper anymore. It's not about the mask anymore. We're going to talk about George Floyd. They flooded the streets.
Painted on the ground.
He has memorials everywhere. Where is the outrage for the babies? Where is the outrage for the children? Why are you waiting on Trump? Why are you waiting on his statement to clear the air? What do you need from him that it's gonna make you say, all right, I'm ready to go? Why do you need his green light? You got a green light.
It's the kids. That's automatic green light. Like,
if someone messed with your child right now as we speak, are you gonna wait for somebody else to come in and defend him, or are you gonna get up off your ass and do something? If someone was raping your child in the bedroom right next to you, are you gonna sit there and wait for somebody else to get there to make it stop, or are you gonna get up off your ass and do something? Make a choice. You shouldn't be waiting. You shouldn't be waiting on some man's statement to make a choice. You shouldn't be waiting on some fucking political figure, some reputable person, some blue check mark, somebody with money in their wallet to say, all right, I made my choice. I want this shit to stop. Make a fucking choice right now. How much longer do you gotta be in a pandemic? Nobody gave a damn when the AIDS spread was ridiculous. Nobody gave a damn when H1N1 was ridiculous. Nobody gave a damn when Ebola was ridiculous. Nobody gave a damn when the common cold turned into harsh pneumonia. So what's your excuse? Where is the outrage? Everywhere.
The thing with the Pippi deal, this is how shit works for survivors. Whoever put that up likely programmed Allie when she was a kid. She programmed her with those cartoons. Remember we've talked about the cartoons before? She's trying to pull something out of Allie. She's trying to access Allie's programming. Told you that shit before. Those things aren't random. Those things aren't, oh, it was just an accident. Or it's just a coincidence. That's not how shit works with MK Ultra. I told you they use codes, triggers, touch, tones, all kind of shit.
And they're sending multiple people. If you go look at where these accounts are not just trolls. Some of these accounts are pedophiles. So if you notice, we had the woman Kendra that we had to call out that was sitting on our Telegram chat, praying over everybody, just so nice and giving out tutorials and everything about that. And then all of a sudden, Mom had to call her out because she's linked to who we're talking about.
Y'all need, I'm glad, it sucks for our end and it sucks for some of you guys to see how this shit plays out, but it's necessary. Those witches can speak Jesus better than Jesus himself. And they are. And they're doing it very publicly. You have to have discernment. If you don't have the Holy Spirit that lives inside of your heart, you're going to get suckered and swallowed up. That's just facts of the matter.
These are mothers. These are your everyday nurses. These women work in your hospitals. These women work in your schools. These men are your everyday doctors.
I mean, think about what I was saying to y'all earlier, where I was talking about how all these like minds attract to each other. Remember when I said that we are finding each other? Because that is the reason why I resonate with what they're saying. And it seems like what we're hearing them say seems to be resonating with what I'm saying to you guys now. That this is not just the elite. It runs all the way down the food chain, if you will. All the way down. And I told y'all that this starts in the schools. She said the same thing. When your children are let out into the community, that's when this shit starts. This is not coincidence. We're finding each other. The tribes are beginning to stick out for who they are. They said that you also have to look at your community members. The people right in your towns, cities, all your local governments, states, these people as well. The people who work for the government. This is what they're saying. The people who work for the government is behind this shit. Teachers, doctors, police officers, firefighters, I am telling you the same thing in a different way. I am telling you the same thing. A lot of these people, these types of people that prey on children and hide behind their indecencies, imperfections, and things not beneficial to them. They are in our governments. The people who work for the government. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. I knew it was a reason why I had to leave government. I knew it. I knew it. I mean, that energy was all around me. And I just got finished telling y'all about the government, about stuff that I've went through. And I have stories for days. The same energy, okay? Miss Carter and her mother is talking about right now. The same people. Oh, I'm telling you, this is hitting different for me. Ew.
There are the number is what, 80 million or 800,000 that go missing every year. That's a feel good number. Now, can you imagine if they went missing 800,000? Do the math. Nobody wants to, but do it. 800,000 a year. Okay. So how many years have you been sleeping and not knowing about how many kids are gone? How many kids is that? On a guesstimate. Can you imagine how many of those kids needed you? Can you imagine how many of those kids would kill for someone to just read them a bedtime story, give them clean socks for a bath, let them go eat grapes out of the refrigerator? Like, good Lord, that was my biggest thing as a kid. Like, give me more than 2 grapes, please. It just, can you imagine? It blows my mind how much people are still sleeping and how much people are not angry yet.
Yeah. It takes time. Like I can't even imagine, being in your shoes and not only living the life you're living, but also like documenting the process as you're going through it, and then still like having people like post on your thing like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, quit scamming. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, I've come to the conclusion, like, it has to be like, there's probably a 95% possibility that it's either someone who's just paid to agitate, it's an AI bot comment that's just automated, or 5% out of the haters or whatever is just someone who just doesn't get it. Or
when I know you were there because you've been there from the beginning.
Well, not the beginning, but the bonnet video when you got started.
Bonnet beginning.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yes. The doctors there was, it's the pimp that I talked about. It was her husband. He's a pediatrician, still a very well pediatrician. If I knew exactly what office he worked out of, trust me, I would have gave that up a long time ago, but he's a traveling pediatrician, I'm sure, and he has multiple friends everywhere. The thing was everybody was shocked. Like, he threatened me, and usually my go-to would be to hide. My go-to would be to, Mom, here's the message, I'm scared, I just want to shut my stuff down, I don't want to talk anymore, like, we'll just leave him alone, we'll back up slowly. That's usually my answer to things, and I hide it very well. I can clown very well. But this time I was like, that's it. Whatever. So I posted it, and people were so shocked that they were like, does he really talk like this? He was talking so vulgar, and he was basically describing what he was going to do to me and how much it would hurt and this and that. And it was like, people were like, is are pimps really this vulgar? And I'm like, where do you think your movies come from? Your raunchy late night goofy comedies that are worse than American Pie. Where do you think they come from? These type of people are the type of people that are raping your children. These are the type of people who don't understand why you don't drink the blood of children. They see an issue with you because you don't tie children up to slit holes in their skin and hold your tongue out like you're catching snowflakes. They see something wrong with you. Those are the people that I start calling out. Everybody's like, why you're giving attention to these 10s? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to get other people to see. Look at what this person is doing. Because if you see this and people are like, what in the actual hell is, I understand that. But if it takes someone to physically see it, because if I didn't document what was going on since the bonnet, no one would believe this wild shit. No one would everybody would, you are crazy. Someone needs to send a few nice guys in some white uniforms to go pick all 3 of those girls up. Like, if no one's seen the bullshit that we were going through, you would think that it was unreal. People always tell me, your life is like a movie. And I'm like, well, wait till we make the real thing. Because some people are going to need antidepressants to go into the movie theater.
Yeah, I remember some of these Telegram voice chats. I'm like, I'm hearing stuff I've never even seen in movies. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm like, I haven't even told 5 to 10% of my story. I don't feel like I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface, and people wouldn't believe me. And I think it's crazy because everything is documented. Everything is medically documented or documented somewhere, as far as I was arrested at this age, or I was pulled out of a home at this age, or there was a court date at this age, or there was a rape case and a rape kit at a hospital at this age. There's something everywhere all of my life. But how do you ask a 5-year-old? So if a 5-year-old was molested or raped by a family member, is that 5-year-old supposed to keep a record and keep some proof for you? And are you going to go back and say, now that you're 20, do you have that picture from when you were 5 years old to show us what happened to you? What proof? Sometimes with these tins, I'm like, what proof exactly are you looking at? It's not the movies. I literally can't make this shit up if I tried. So if you're not understanding that and seeing the connections all over the world, then there's no proof that anybody can give you to help you see that. That means that you're forever going to be asleep. You're forever going to have your head in the sand. And if that's the case, then you deserve however you wake up.
Yeah. That's right. Wake up. We're either growing or dying, folks. We're either growing or dying. We're advancing or we're deceasing. It's one or the other. So there's and now it's more, more clear than ever. There's no like middle of the ground. It's one way or the other as we go.
It's not blurry. And no
my prescription, it's been proved. I'm seeing clearly here, Doc.
Something in my eye. Still can't see it. Like you can't do it anymore. It can't be any more in your face. At this point, it is you who chooses to ignore it. And if you choose to ignore it, you're no better than the pedophiles, the pimps, the witches, the warlocks, the perpetrators that do the things that they do. You are no better than them by choosing to ignore it.
Yep. This is your wake-up call, folks. If you're watching this video, you're watching it for a reason.
Yeah.
So thank you for being where you are. You are more helpful than you may realize. So we appreciate every person watching, listening, sharing this video, sharing this post, getting the information out.
So I went back there with roses and food cards, and I went back with over 30 backpacks to the shelter, and I tried to pass them out to the shelter and homeless, and I was looking for the children because I know how it was living on the streets, and I still know there's children, but they hide very well. And it was, I don't know what made me do it. And from there, I started going down there more. We took down 106 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to feed the homeless because we started making friends, and they're like, I'll tell you where the kids are. And I'm like, I'll bring you food so we can know. We got a deal here.
You hear that, people? You hear that, people? We're getting some intel from Allie here. Wink, wink.
I'll tell her what she wants to know. I'm kidding. But we went down there with backpacks and food, and it got really bad because I went back down to the park, Gladys Park in Los Angeles, and there was a huge shooting, and it turned into something else, and it got really, really dangerous. So we weren't able to go back. But I started there, and then people started hearing my name, and it wasn't, I still feel like I have to, hey, I'm Allie. But it was crazy. And then the Bonnet video is what, I don't know what I thought was going to happen that day. Somebody pissed me off. I woke up. I didn't smoke. I thought I was going to get on and just rant. And the next thing you know, I woke up to 50,000 followers. And I was like, all right.
The plan has changed a little bit.
Take the bonnet off.
What's in this thing? Where did I get this?
Angry with this thing on.
Yeah.
It was, but I'm happy. I'm really happy because if we switched it up. We usually are the type of people to hide about it. We are usually the type of people to, I don't want to talk about it. You wouldn't believe me anyways. So, I mean, Men in Black, that is not a joke. It got to the point where we're like, screw this, we have to stop holding their secrets. And I thank God that day I said, screw it, because from the Bonnet video, every moment from there, I was like, that's it. I'm not hiding it anymore. And it has saved our lives. If I didn't go live from my house and post that video, we'd be dead by now. So thank you to all of my angels out there that are like, I'm here because we know Jared is an angel and we here.
For sure. It's quite a journey. I can't even imagine the stuff you've been through in the past year since then, let alone everything before that. But it's a miracle. We're all grateful. And just to kind of close on that thread, for anyone, watching, if you're in that life to any form or fashion, whatever it may be, just kind of be aware of what Allie did, what she's been doing, things to be aware of. Obviously, we'll have her links to her social profiles and stuff, so you can follow her and check her out below. But just be aware. And one thing that I'll kind of just mention from my perspective, and maybe you can touch on this as well. But what I found just in my own life in general, our gut feeling, that thing deep within us, is generally our connection to the divine or God or whatever you term that, which is different
It's
than what
that
we may,
veil. Yeah.
yeah, rather than our thoughts, but we have it like our gut feeling that we just feel something either off or on, like we just have that kind of indicator. So, I mean, can you speak to that as far as like how to listen to that, or how have you kind of, you know, survived in this, like listening to that versus things that, you know, maybe your head says go this way, but something else says go do something different?
Yeah. And some people are, oh, the female intuition and your deeper intuition. And that is, everybody has a veil. And my mom told me this, everybody has a veil, and that veil is eventually going to be torn. So that veil is something that protects you from the other realms and the other realities that we have. People are like, is there a thing such as ghost? Is there such a thing as alternate realms or an alternate universe? Yes. CERN is not a joke. Danny Phantom was trying to give it to you nicely. The cartoon back in the day. The thing is I think people with what's going on, people have to pay attention to that deeper intuition. It's almost like this veil is tearing. For some people, it's already torn. So some people can visit alternate realms. They can levitate. They can conjure demons and use Ouija boards, and they actually work for them. Some people can't. Like, no matter how much they want it to, they physically, literally cannot conjure demons or use the Ouija board or, you know, have something fly across the room. But everyone has this deep intuition that something is telling me not to go there. Something is telling me fire is hot. Something is telling me I probably should call somebody and let them know where I am. There has been a time where we have all started to ignore that because we're waiting for someone else to tell us what we're supposed to think. We're waiting for someone else to say, okay, you're wrong, and you know that can't be. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop saying to yourself, I could be wrong. Stop saying to yourself, I'm probably being paranoid. No. That feeling, that internal screaming that's going on to say, hey, pay attention. We're in a situation that we need to get the hell out of. Like, pay attention to that. People started dismissing that. And that's where we've honestly gone wrong too, is we dismiss ourselves. So we stopped asking questions.
Because of what I just said, there will be major retaliation. As I say again, we are not suicidal. There will be no accidental car accidents. There will be no overdoses. Any medicine that is in this car that is on us can be accounted for as medicine, from our doctors.
There will be no altercations with skin suit people.
Skin suit. Look up what a skin suit is. Look up what a skin suit is. We've been threatened with somebody in a skin suit. Do you know the Microsoft patent that they just...
Couple somebody's with the skin suit.
Uh-huh.
What they're saying, and I completely understand her humor. Not everybody will, but many survivors will understand her humor and her mother's humor. But what they're saying is the types of people that do shady shit like this, these are your nitpicky people. You're very petty people when it comes to details. That's these types of people. Anything that they can do to refute or try to negate what you're saying, that's these types of people that she's talking about. They get caught up in the details of stuff. If something don't seem right to them, it's like they keep lurking and looking and lurking and looking until they find one little pebble. Anything that they can do to refute you. Now, what type of people do things like this?
I hope you didn't pay too much for that plan. If you don't want your name called out, knock your fucking shit off.
Leave us alone. We weren't fighting with you. We weren't fucking with you. We didn't want to be in the war with you or in the fucking ring with you, but ding ding. Leave me alone. And if you know something about me so deep, fucking post it. I don't give a shit if it's one of my porn videos. I volunteer to be the first one posted out of a laptop. Do it. I'm serious. Do it.
Don't make threats. Don't make threats. If you're gonna threaten something, do it, because we are not threatening kind of people. Your threats won't go anywhere. Either do it or shut the hell up.
Oh, and for the ones that said, "Oh, her admins are gone," no, baby. No, baby. Listen.
No, you guys traded that common sense. You really needed that to do the things you want to try to do. You really needed that common sense.
It would help you.
It would help you so much, but you guys would be. I would be fearful of you if you had that common sense, but you don't. So you keep looking for that E6000 and the missing admins. Go ahead.
It's because some of these admins getting so damn angry. Oh, you're going to hear from them soon. And when you do, you're not going to like it. They angry, baby. All of them.
Because they seen real shit.
They know what the fuck's going on. They've been with us in person to see what the fuck is going on.
A lot of this stuff you can't tell. It has to be seen. The other night, let's talk about that. The other night when Allie went down, when I outed Kindred, Allie went down, boom, just like that. I'll tell you Allie's down and we need prayer, whatever, but I've not wanted to show that because that's not good for Allie. That's not kind of exposes her more than we're comfortable with. But I got a green light from her to show this shit, so we did.
I didn't know it was gonna be with her.
But and I'm sure it'll happen again, and if we have a green light, I'll show you again. But it's stuff you have to see with your eyes, and you have to physically witness. And when you do, it will profoundly change you. It's the shit I've been talking to you about. It's the whole enchilada. It's the other stuff that we've not been telling. It's the real shit that goes on for survivors.
Let me break it down for you. I've been around many massage therapists, many people who have many jobs, but people who know the body very well. Okay? And they can be able to tell you that they know from their profession of what they've seen is not normal.
Like supernatural, crazy, fucked up shit.
Like not breathing for 20 minutes, not normal. Like a screwdriver tightening, building in your body while someone is doing what they're doing, not normal.
If I could have put the audio up close for you guys to hear, you would have heard like knuckles cracking in Allie's stomach. Like there's no bones there. It's just fucking MK Ultra supernatural witchcraft fucking bullshit. You don't know what they've done to the children. You don't know what they're still doing to the children, because if you did, you guys would all be on the road. You guys would all be out in the streets like we are. You guys would drop what you're doing. You would walk away from your families and fight the fucking war that's in front of us.
It doesn't sound to you like somebody has been trying to play as God, where they are trying to form the children however whatever kind of idea comes in their mind about a child's formation. They're trying to do it with children. She's talking about your doctors as well. These are doctors. These are people who have access to your body, to your mind, to your ears, that they were forming the kids in the image that they saw them. She said that Allie doesn't have any bones. Like, she said there's something going on there with her body.
And one thing I'll mention just for the viewers, because everyone's got their own perception. So you might be watching this and be like, hey, you guys are joking around, this isn't a joking matter. Like, I totally appreciate that, and my intention isn't to like take this lightly, but it's to have a light heart so that the information can be received in a better way, and so that people will actually pay attention, watch the whole thing, because sometimes it can be very dark and gloomy, and I understand that, because that's what it is.
Come on over to some videos that I've done, and it's like, I think everybody has ran through every single emotion, from crying, anxiety, scared out of their mind, angry, and laughing. So this is the most easiest way to get this information out without feeling like you need to rock in a corner a drink or 4 and a few pills. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. And no matter where you are, you're not alone, because either there's someone like me who's just learning about this stuff, or there's someone like Allie who's been living it and survived it and is speaking out about it. So there's more and more people coming to the surface, whether it's through social media or someone you meet in person, whatever. More people are becoming aware of this, and it's literally just beginning. So there's gonna be a lot
one more thing is, I know there are a lot of survivors and a lot of victims that are watching out for my name and waiting for a video to come up and seeing what I'm saying next. And if you're listening to this, and as you're listening here, I want you to see this. I've been talking to Jared for a while, and there are still real men out there. There are still real men who don't kill the image of what a real man is. There are still real men that will fight, and just by making noise on this platform is fighting for you. And not in a way of, I'm going to turn around and use this in my own selfish gain. I'm telling you right now that you reach out, the same way that he's sitting here to get this message out is the same way that he will fight for you and other patriots that are like him, that are real men in the image of real men. I'm not trying to push religion, because I know how it felt to not know what to believe in. I know how it felt to be many different religions, to be atheist, not know what to believe in, and not even think that there's anywhere to find peace. But I'm telling you that there is still a way. Jared is making a way. There are other patriots that are still making a way, and there are other patriots that will move hell, high water, and any mountain in their way to make sure that you can get your story out there. Not only that, but you can live and be free. If not again, but period. So I just want you to know that, and to keep continuing to give the thought of being free a chance. And thank you, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor. And one thing that might also help people that are in that life, like Allie, even for you, like a year ago compared to where you are now, as far as like the level of support that you've had, like, can you share maybe a little bit about kind of what your experience over the past year with your kind of level of support that you've seen from regular people?
I have tried to speak out a few times. Every time that I went to say something, I got scared. I took things down. Some people, they don't hear you right away when you say it, like you said, and like we talked about, it takes a minute to sink in. The support has been something that I can't even describe. It went from nobody giving a damn about what I had to say, or if I was still alive, or anything about me, to making sure that not just me, but any other survivor that comes forward, any victim that may need help, any former dancer, any foster child, anybody that needs someone to be who they needed. I have seen people come out of the woodwork, and I never thought that would happen. I went viral on accident, okay? I did not mean for any of this to happen. I had less than 300 followers, and I was some girl who taught dance and blended into plain sight very well, thank you. And it wasn't like this, and now we call them 90s, because 100% of the world, there's 100%, but there's 90% of the world that knows that something is not right, and there's 10% that would like to dig their head back in the sand. 10% is a nice way of not saying assholes, but there are 10% of the people in this world who just don't want to get it. But there are 90s from all over the world. We have people from Asia, Estonia, Ireland, Australia, just everywhere, people who don't even speak English, that message and just say, I'm Allie's army. And I'm like, listen, that is universal. Got it. As long as you let me, you're not sending no bad juju my way, I'm okay with you. But the support, every single day, there's a new state, there's a new There's every walk of life on my page. I have Catholic and transgender and gay and Black and white and Mexican and Lord knows whatever else that is on my page, that is all together for the common goal. Nobody cares about your sexual orientation, who you love, what you want to be, what color you are. Nobody gives a damn about that. It's amazing. It blows my mind every time about how many people have just came together, and it has nothing to do with money. We don't ask for money. We don't want any money. Money is evil. And I have been sold so many times, and I've had money in my hand that I've money just makes me feel sick. And it's not about that. It's about the fact that there are people who are like, that's it, I'm done with the secrets. I don't want to be a vault. I won't allow myself or my family to be this vault either. It won't carry down generations to come. The support has been, I don't even know words for it. There's people know my name all around the world. And that happened in less than 6 months, but in a year's time, I started doing the marches because I started going to the marches, and for some reason, I went down to Los Angeles, which is where I lived. I was in Los Angeles, and I decided to get out of the car on Skid Row, and I never do, because I've even had to go to work down there. I was a dance teacher, so I danced down there in a lot of recreational studios, Millennium Dance, all that good stuff. And for some reason, I never got out of the car, so I was always scared. And one day at a march, a child sex trafficking march, I got out and I tried to go back to the shelter. I used to live on the streets, but this woman used to take care of people on the streets, and I didn't realize that what she was doing was basically illegal, but she did what she had to do because she was like, I'm not, even though I work in the shelter, I'm not going to let a child that is eating out of the trash can go hungry. That's a decision that people have to make. Is it moral or ethical? You know what I mean? Screw that shit. Like,
Yeah,
what's
right.
right, what's
Right is
wrong.
right. Yeah. You're like, Allie,
Yeah.
why not? Why not? I don't understand. She's a beautiful soul, incredible human being.
Thank you. So are
Yes,
you.
yes, thank you. So, yeah, so in wrapping, kind of closing this up, do you have any other kind of message or anything else you want to share with people or get the word about? Anything?
If this is the last thing you hear from me today, if you watch this video and you were like, this is wild, and I'm going to go back to scrolling because I have nothing, the last thing you remember from me is just think about it. Are you proud of your silence? And will you be proud of your silence when more children come to surface and you realize that the people that you idolize, the people that you spend time with, the people that you think are supposed to be in your best interest are in the worst interest for you and everyone around you? Wake up, please do your research, and ask yourself, if this is the last video you're like, listen, I was scrolling and I don't know how I got here, just ask yourself, are you proud of your silence?
That they know from their profession of what they've seen is not normal.
Like supernatural, crazy, fucked up shit.
Like not breathing for 20 minutes, not normal. Like a screwdriver tightening, building in your body while someone is doing what they're doing, not normal.
If I could have put the audio up close for you guys to hear, you would have heard like knuckles cracking in Allie's stomach. Like it's not, there's no bones there. It's just fucking MK Ultra, supernatural witchcraft fucking bullshit. You don't know what they've done to the children. You don't know what they're still doing to the children, because if you did, you guys would all be on the road. You guys would all be out in the streets like we are. You guys would drop what you're doing. You would walk away from your families and fight the fucking war that's in front of us.
Make a choice, please.
Nobody's coming to fix it.
No
There's
one.
no one coming to fix this shit. It's your responsibility and it's my responsibility. We're the only ones that are gonna fix it. We're the only ones that are gonna stop it.
Mom, move.
Pay attention. Pay attention. If anything, make a decision. Y'all gotta make a decision.
All I'm saying is they are saying the exact same shit. I'm telling you, this is not coincidence, okay? It is not. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I have been saying the same shit. And as I'm going through Allie's videos, I'm finding out they were saying the same shit. And this was back in 2021. Because before this time, when I started reporting on Allie, I knew nothing about this lady. But the stuff I'm saying now, she and her mother have been saying the same stuff in a different way. This is so interesting to me. Like, this is crazy. I don't know what to tell y'all, man.